Hey everyone, a lot of people ask me about, do you have to eat OMAD? Do you have to fast on a carnivore diet? I don't think you need to fast. I don't think you even need to do OMAD. A lot of the benefit from fasting and the benefit from doing OMAD is really just waiting out the clock on your insulin. Insulin derails your metabolism, and so it needs to come down before your metabolism works properly, and you go into a so-called fasting metabolism, which I believe is incorrect. I think that's misnamed. I think that's our primary metabolic state. That's the primary metabolic state of most animals in nature because they're running on fat and protein, not carbohydrates. That goes for carnivores and herbivores because herbivores break down fiber into protein and fat. Carnivores are eating animals made out of protein and fat. They're all in that so-called ketogenic starvation state, right? It's not a starvation state. That's the metabolic state that everyone is in as long as you're not eating carbohydrates. So I can eat 5,000 calories in ribeye. I'm not fasting, but I'm in the so-called fasting metabolism. So that's misnamed. Doing OMAD is beneficial for people eating carbohydrates. You eat carbohydrates, get a big spike in your insulin, has a long half-life. The textbook says it takes about 24 hours before you get into that fasting metabolism. Maybe it's a bit less, but either way, you get your insulin down to a level that your body and your metabolism works better, more efficiently, more effectively, and you are going to be healthier as a result metabolically. And so this is a benefit. If you are not eating carbohydrates, your insulin's always low, it's always stable. You don't need to worry about that. Same for fasting. There may be some benefits to longer term fasts on top of the metabolic state that you're in, simply just depriving yourself of food as opposed to just not eating all that frequently because you're eating high density nutrition. And that's the thing. Most people will naturally go into eating once or twice a day, sometimes maybe even skipping a day, purely based on their own hunger signals. And that's fine. If you're eating high density nutrition, you don't need to eat as much or as often. And so you're much less hungry, you're much more satisfied, and you can go much longer without food. So that's not fasting. That's simply eating when you're hungry and you're just not hungry. So there may be benefits of actually depriving yourself of nutrition for several days or so. Certainly this could be in the case of people treating cancer and trying to keep their GKI down, or other reasons like that. The studies I've seen on fasting mimicking diets, which is basically a ketogenic diet, putting you in the metabolic state as you would be if you didn't eat at all, really didn't eat carbohydrates at all. This generally shows about the same outcomes. So fasting mimicking diet, ketogenic diet, carnivore diet is a ketogenic diet, and fasting seem to confer similar health benefits, or sometimes even the same benefits, or sometimes even the ketogenic diet actually wins out and has better outcomes as well. And so I think the vast majority of the benefit that you get from eating once a day or not eating that day really come from just not eating the wrong thing. So if you don't eat stupid stuff, you can eat when you're hungry and eat as much as you're hungry for. Maybe there's some exceptions to that rule. However, for the vast majority of people, just eat fatty meat when you're hungry, eat until it stops tasting good, and enjoy the rest of your life. Okay? Thanks, everyone. See you later.